Mr. Greedy, Mr. Greedy, red dying bleedy bleedy. Oh, Mr. Greedy, I'm talking to you, Mr. Greedy, red dying bleedy bleedy.
Blessed love. Welcome to Militant Voices Podcast, Season 2, Episode 10, where we have a lawyer and activist, Alex Morley. I see. Give thanks and praise for life, health, and strength to all my 242 people in the rest of the world. Enjoy the podcast. Blessed love. Welcome to Militant Voices again. Yes, I. Greetings to all my Haitian brothers, my Jamaican brothers, my St. Lucia, my Virgin Island, all my black brothers in the Caribbean. Don't forget the message is to push that button of unity and let's unite and burn down the plantation. I see with the modern day slave master system. I said, yes, I give thanks and praise. Welcome to the podcast. My Virgin here, Alex Morley. That's the fire living. You don't know. Right. Yes, King. Yes, I am Alex. I like for the people to know who's Alex Morley. Tell the people who's Alex Morley. I see.
You guru. Just let me say thank you to Ross Copper for allowing me to come on Militant Voices.
Yes, King.
But my name is Alex Morley.
Yes, King.
I am the chairman of the African People's Socialist Party that's King. Here in the Bahamas.
Yeah,
and I head up the front for the African Socialist International for the Caribbean region.
Yes, yes,
but I'm also a practicing attorney right here in Nassau, Bahamas.
Yes, I am. Yeah. I know you're a good lawyer too. You don't know.
And I owned a bookshop, Black Food bookstore and culture shop with my wife, Charo Morley.
All right. Shout out to Charo Morley, the IC and to Charo Morley, and shout out to Black Food Bookstore. The IC will give you the location on the bookstore and where you can find these good African books, good African attires, and everything. Okay, so bless and love. Yes, I. So, Alex, besides you being the one of your own African bookstore with you and your wife and doing law and stuff like that, you have any other ventures you pursuing at this time?
The main thing on my mind is to build the African People's Socialist Party.
Okay.
You know, and the African People's Socialist Party is a party of the working class. You know,
yes, I am.
We need a party of the workers, the African workers. You know, who create the labor in a society. But we also need a political party that's focused with a new ideology that has African people understanding what the social system is about, capitalism, understanding the role that African people have played in the social system, and also we need a party that's focused on setting a new leadership for our people, a new vision.
Changing the narrative.
Yeah, changing the narrative.
Now, when you say the African Labor Party,
African People's Socialist Party.
Yeah, and talking about the Labor Part, the union, union part,
the workers.
This is, if I get this correct, this is like how you have a union set up in a job, where you have your union like that. This is more like a union to help African brothers who are in the labor system to have certain benefits and stuff like that.
Right.
Okay.
It's not only a labor. You know, sometimes when people talk about working people, and when I say working people, I talking about people right in the community that, like Angliston and the over the hill community is working people. You know. Sometimes when people talking about organizing working people, the only organization we think about working people is labor union, labor organizations, unions.
So what you're doing is trying to form something.
And unions are important for working people too, because they fight for the workers on the jobs, employment. That's an employment struggle.
They get treated fairly.
Make sure they get treated fairly. But workers also need political organizations, a party, right? A party that says that we are fighting for the workers.
Yes, you need
a working class party, but also a working class party, because most of the workers on this rock are African people. So we want a working class party that has an ideology that is focused on Africa, and Africa has played a very important role in the development of capitalism worldwide. This international social system. You see, so when we talk, we want to build a party, the workers. All these parties that they have right now in this country, these are parties of the capitalists, of the ruling class.
Yes.
You see,
the
parties of the colonists,
the colonizers.
Right? The regular man on the street need a party. You know, the Rasta man need a party. A party for the garbage man, a party for the plumber, a party for just the regular man. You see, so that's what the African People's Socialist Party trying to be. We are working to be the party for the regular man.
Yes, King. Yes, King. So, by you being a lawyer, I know you know the law and you know certain things. So, when you establishing this party, you're gonna put in certain perspective of certain things and give us some teachings in their law area where we can be like, say, guided by the right movements, because you know how the system set up. You have to know the law in order to bring things into effect, because they always have little twists and turns to try to detour you. You say,
right,
so
definitely.
by you being a lawman and having these ventures, it should give you a more better upper hand on how to approach it, because now you also know the law.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But use a revolutionary lawyer.
Right.
So that'll give you a better upper hand. Please, I give time for that.
Yes, give time.
Yes, King. Freedom, you don't know. Yeah, man.
If I could only say, I think,
yes.
all our skills, whether one is a carpenter, a lawyer, or a doctor, I think ideology is allows you to use those skills and those tools in a different way. You see, so I'm a lawyer, but I've tried to just be in a revolution. Let me say, this journey of being a revolutionary, you can't do it on your own. You see,
no, you can't.
I'm a part of the African People's Socialist Party, so any skills that I have, I try to immerse them within this movement, yes, that we are part of building.
Yes, King. Yes, King. And so far in the movement, how far have you reached in your quest and your journey in it? How has it been established so far, and the progression it's making so far?
I think sometimes it's hard to say. I'm one of those persons that doesn't know when you're winning, but I can't really say when you're losing and you're winning. But I know that a lot of advancements have been made in this country in terms of African consciousness, and our people are seeing things in a different way. And I feel as if that we have played, the African People's Socialist Party has played a role in that. But we far from where we need to be, as a people in terms of, we trying to get back to Africa, we trying to make, when I say get back to Africa, we want to put Africa back at the center of our life, we want to unite African people worldwide.
Yes,
we want to feel that power, the united power of 1.5 billion African people, united socially, economically, creating jobs in our own interests. But Africa, putting Africa the center of our life, Africa is the richest continent in the world,
yes,
and African people are scattered around the world and poor. And we want to, that situation has to, that has to come to the end, and we want to change that. So we've done a lot in terms of this present Black Power movement, Africa, what people feeling right now, what they call conscious movement or the woke movement. The African People's Socialist Party worldwide has played a role in that. But we have a lot to do.
Yes,
Africa ain't free, and Africa ain't united.
Yes, King, because say Rasta been from long time, Rasta been educating people in certain consciousness, things that now has become like what you call normal to them, was once taboo to them.
Oh yeah,
we used to practice it, from the locks, from the burning of the herbs, from the consciousness of how they eat and all them different things. We always been practicing that, but nowadays you see now a lot of people wearing locks. You see the food, health consciousness becoming the food, and you also see people getting more conscious, like you say, the awakening. You say, yeah, man. So could I ask what part in the law firm in the law process do you defending?
Well, right now I focus on I do criminal law, and I do employment law. But my legal career, every day I've been a lawyer for about a little bit over 10 years now.
I know
it's
that.
almost like I feel as if like I just started being a lawyer, because there's a lot more to learn, in terms of being a lawyer. But that's an everyday process. That's an everyday process that I'm working on.
Yeah, man.
But I try to. I used to have I was on my own for a while as a sole practitioner, and I used to have a law office on the end of Morley Street in Robinson Road, But I've always just tried to bring quality service to the people, you know what I mean? And like I say, being a lawyer, that's a process.
Yes, King, yeah, man.
I'm trying to develop that skill. Every
day.
day.
Yes, King. Like, and everything we do, we grow into it. We keep growing. You never stop learning, yeah, man. But is there any time that you ever thought about saying, you wanna like give like say lectures to youth them on the streets and certain areas to let them know how to move in the system, how to be legally conscious in the system, because you know back then with the Panthers and different type people, they had like different type lawman who's to come into their meetings and educate the people on how to deal with the law and how to deal with the system. You say, so
Right.
at any time that you that kind of process come to your mind that you want to be involved in something like that, or do something like that.
You know, I've always taken the opportunity to speak to the Rastafarian community in terms of law and the marginalization of the Rastafarian community, or it would be another issue, you know. So I've in terms of the African People's Socialist Party, I took part in a grand jury inquiry in St. Louis, where an African American brother had been murdered by police officers, and their members in the community came together, where we had a whole court process.
Yes, King.
And I was a prosecutor. I was one of the lawyers that took part in that process.
Yes,
you know.
Yes, King.
So there's things that I've done in the party, but there's more that I can do in terms of using
all
my,
of us, man. All of us.
legal
Yes.
skills to,
Always more. Yes,
to help
King.
the movement.
Yes, King. I feel you. Yeah, man. But anyhow, we'll be forward in a break on Militant Voices podcast. I see Give Thanks and Praise season 2 episode 10 with our brother Alex Morley, activist and lawyer. Give Thanks and Praise for life. Blessed love, welcome to Militant Voices podcast, season 2, episode 10. We're here with our guest, Alex Morley, activist and lawyer. The IC Give Thanks and Praise for Life, Health and Strength. Yeah, man, I just want to address an issue that I see been covering, that's been viral now in our news here in the Bahamas, that is circulating about the straw market downtown on Bay Street. The IC see a lot of people putting out their views on it and their opinions on it, and you have, it is, you know, it's on both sides. You know, you have some agree with it, you have some who disagree with it. But I was one of the ones who was a conspiracy theorist, so I always try to attack it from a different angle. But for me, who's you know, around these areas and seeing certain things, right? The straw market has been a traditional place. Straw basket work has been traditional in our country from long time ago. From the Bahamas, just started to get before independence, or even I should say. So more time, straw is one of the oldest traditions and ways of economical ventures in the Bahamas, right? Like sponging, all of them was there too, along with it. You see what I'm saying? So now you have to this day now that being the 2020 era, right? And look like straw work has been now like extinguished in a certain way because of how this economy is stifling it with the big investors, the foreign investors coming in on Bay Street and having 4 and 5 and 6 shops. The IC saying one person having 4 and 5, one entity owning 4 and 5, 6 shops, and these entities even Bahamian owned. And you can find the small Bahamian businesses on Bay Street, where people always say tourism is our backbone, right, and our economical strength. Yes, I understand that. Yes, tourism is one of our strongest economical strength, but where does the money go to make from tourism? Who does it go to? That's what my point is, okay? And if Bahamian people can just be always the footstool and just the straw basket makers and the braiders and selling the conch shells, and whilst the other people come in here and own shops with making thousands of dollars on Bay Street, why can't we have that same power and privilege? And I sure Bahamians over the years has already approached to try and get these establishments set up, but I sure have been a lot of red tape and doors closed in their face. You see, but other people can come through and just get it overnight. I say, the color of your complexion is your protection in the system. That's how it is. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that I just want to send a shout out to my people in the straw wake and all that. Keep your head up. I hear they close y'all down for we do to safety precaution stuff. Yes, it's good to have everything safe and all that, but also we have to know that what really be going on. How can you just come in the clear blue sky all of a sudden and come up with this when you had years to do this? You see what I'm saying? So there's always a conspiracy behind something. You see what I'm saying? But give thanks and praise for life and saying keep up your head, my people in the straw wake world, and who trying to put food on their family table and keep their head up. They say, and the system was killing us out here in the Bahamas and call Bahamas for Bahamians. When it ain't for really for us, it's for the ones who come in with the big money and have the complexion for their protection. You see what I'm saying? But my brethren, by you being a revolutionary lawyer, an activist, and a brother who conscious of certain things, you see what I'm saying? Take us into your Rastafari position here, and so I know you've been a part of the host of Rastafari, certain works they do and different things like that. And before we even go into that, all right, it's another hot topic already going on here in the Bahamas by I and I being Rastafari man, the legalization of the herbs coming in right now. By you being a law person and noble law, how you think we will be placed in this system of when they put these laws around the legalizing? How do you think we'll get a fair deal as Rastaman in this, and also for the people of the Bahamas who want to take part in industries that cultivating it and trying to make profits for them within our circle here? Do you feel that we're going to be given a fair deal in the law from the law standpoint? I mean, if you could analyze it for me like that.
Right. Will we be given a fair deal from the law standpoint? You know, I have to answer that question about the marijuana issue. I'm a member of the African People's Socialist Party.
Yes, King.
So I have to answer that from the position of the party that I'm a part of.
Yes, King.
But since I have been, from the time I came home from school, I've always had a historical thought of this marijuana issue. And this is something that I've spoken to all of my brethren in the Rastafarian community about, you know?
Yes, King.
This issue about marijuana and the marginalization and victimization of the Rastafarian community is similar to the vagrancy laws that they applied against African people in the United States. Basically, they put laws in place where they would declare a man or woman would be loitering, hanging around.
They just arrest them easily.
You could just arrest them easily.
Yes.
So, but a lot of those laws that were put in place like that, a lot of African men and women in the States were disproportionately ended up in prison, were put in prison, incarcerated. And now even in the States, in the US right now, you have much more Africans and
Latinos and
people from South America who are in prison more than white people.
Yes.
At the end of the day, it's not as if African people are the criminals and white people are the good people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why they in prison and being in prison, you know?
Yes, King.
I'm into destroying eradicating any law that demonizes African people.
Yes,
you know
King.
what I mean?
Yes, King. Agreed.
That any law that marginalizing us or demonizing us gotta go. You know what I mean? We want to build a party that puts the resources and the state power, in the hands of the workers, so that we could implement these kind of democratic kind of laws.
Yes.
If an election is held May 12th, May 13th, my brothers in the Rastafarian community know the time. If the African People's Socialist Party win the government, May 13th, they know what gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? You know, the African People's Socialist Party, we both building a political party where the workers could have state power in their hands, right? So the workers could carry out, implement democratic laws in the country. The marijuana law, similar to the vagrancy law, it is being implemented in a way that puts African people in prison. You see, there's nothing that says that African people do this more than other people. You see, so any laws where it demonizes and criminalizes African people, I want to get rid of those laws. Any laws. If the election was held May 12th and African People's Socialist Party won, May 13th, our people could be sure that we would get rid of any law that criminalizes or demonizes African people, right? Where I differ with, where I just have a different perspective on it from some of my Rastafarian brothers is that I don't see the marijuana issue as the alpha and omega, meaning I don't see it as the beginning and the end.
No.
Right?
No.
for me, the marijuana issue, I see it as part of in the African People's Socialist Party. We want to put the power in the hands of the working class.
Yeah, the people.
Right?
Yeah.
Power in the hands of the people.
Yes, King.
All the resources in the hand of the people.
Yeah, I think
state
this.
power
Yes.
in the hand of the people.
Yeah, this whole process, man, should be given to the people. You see how you say it? Because it's the people who suffer.
And the people who suffer.
Who've been in jail for it, being prosecuted for it, being beaten, brutalized by the laws them sometime when they get catch with it or probably eat it or try to get rid of it. You know, they get beat from it or get whatever, but it's the power should be given to the people in this perspective, because the reason for that is because everything that makes money in our country and everything we do, the government is be able to hold it or possess it, and they make the money from it. I think this same marijuana act should be given to the people, give the Bohemians time to get cultivate, spread out, and bring our economy forward, because guess what? You all can't be hypocritical and talk, but oh, you all want to make money off marijuana, and you all think that's good and all that, but you all been making money off cigarette, tobacco, and all these things that cause harm to people. Drunk driving, tobacco give you cancer, and how people throat eat over, they talking through little hole and all that like that, but herb never do that to no one. You can't OD off herb, you can't, and herb is the only thing, out of all them things I call that is be issued to you in the hospital as a medical property and plant. So therefore, if the doctors who study science and medical degrees, have the medical degrees and all that, can have that as a part of their medical property in the hospital, that means you all know from a long time it was nothing harmful. I see. So if you can legalize it and give it to, make it something, a part of our nation here, to grow our economy, to build, and also to help youth them who go into jail, not to go to prison for this little tree, and also to stop the crime wave that's going with associated with gang banging and stuff over the herb selling and all that. You could decrease plenty things by legalizing it. You say it could be there's a lot of good coming from legalizing it. For those who have the negative point of views about it, most of them are people who never smoke herb. You see, so majority of people who are on these talk shows and they talking about herb and giving all the analyzation of that, never even burn a spliff yet. But they can tell you everything what herb could do. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
You know, my lord, like I say, I don't want to. I just have a different perspective on it. You see,
yeah,
in
man.
terms of some of my Rastafarian brethren, you know, because there's a lot of resources in this country, you know, from the maritime, from the fish resources. I was sitting with my brethren Pan in the yard by him this morning, Tripodolio Street, and he's showing me these trees, these yellow trees, and it have he's calling them say woman town, and he was telling me they shake in the wind. You know, that's the reason they call them woman town. You know, but he was telling me, so those same trees, the beads, they have some beads in them, and those beads is the same beads what people is used to make up those beads what they be selling downtown. You know what I mean? So there's all kind of resources.
Yes, King,
that our people. Land,
yes, King.
You know, that we need access to.
Yeah,
you know?
man.
And I want to be a part of a politics that's really about putting those resources and in the hands of the people, and putting the state power that allows us to build an economy, nurturing economy.
As a Rasta economy and a Rasta society, for us here as Rasta man, we do need a voice in Parliament to represent us, because we over the years. See, people always say, like I say again, people like to say this and don't really try to follow it up in action. Okay, we always say Rastaman is parliamentical, statical, governmentical, churchical, you say sabbatical. So more time, when we say we parliamentical, that means we're supposed to always, we have to have someone to represent us in Parliament. You can't have the ball heads of representatives because they don't know our perspective and what we really dealing with. So we need a Rasta in there who can be the voice for us.
But what about the Parliament of Rasta? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Not only I feel you, because I agree with your point in terms that we need a Rasta in there. But I think we need a Parliament of African-centered people,
and
a full Rasta Parliament.
And what you said is all correct. You say, but as any organization, because don't forget all the organizations that black people did, those white boys or those Babylon had an infiltrator in the organization, FBI agents and all that. So we also need an infiltrator in Parliament.
I feel that. need to infiltrate in
Yeah,
Parliament.
we need someone
No,
in
that's
Parliament
true,
too.
that's true.
You see how you saying? So they can keep us up to date on what's going on in there.
I feel
You see
you.
how you saying?
I think we
Yeah.
got plenty of them right now.
Yeah.
Who that infiltrate the
Yeah,
system.
we need some infiltrators in
like,
Parliament.
They look like they like it.
Yeah. But we don't want those infiltrators going there and become seduced by what's going on there now and turn on us.
That's what I
We
said.
need them real revolutionary
Right.
infiltrators.
We send them in
Yeah.
to infiltrate, but they go and sit down on the
yeah,
couch.
man.
Right.
Yes, you don't know.
I feel you.
So, before we wrap the show up, I'd love to hear about your ventures in your shop. You have a shop called Black Food that sells African attires, that issue black books and stuff like that. I want you to give us your perspective and let the people know about the shop and where could they find it and numbers or whatever to get in contact with the shop. And just give your perspective on Black Food.
Yeah, Black Food bookshop and culture shop that's located on East Street and Robinson Road.
Yes, I.
That's a bookstore and culture shop that my wife and I are part of.
Yes,
and
I.
both of us are part of the African People's Socialist Party.
Yes, I.
It's an organization that's very important to us. But we opened up the bookshop. It was our love for Africa, and we wanted to put it in the community, try to do as best as possible and bringing African consciousness.
Africa here.
Right, bring
Yes,
Africa
King.
here, bringing African consciousness
Yes, King.
to the community.
Yes, King.
And bring a positive economic development to the
Yes,
community.
King.
Also,
Yes, King.
And books, we have African clothes and we have African books on politics and history of Africa. And I think, for me, books would open up my eyes,
Could you give us some names and title of these books that you have to let the people know the names of the books and the titles, like, who all the authors are and the books?
All right, we got the autobiography of Malcolm X.
Yes.
We got John Henry Clark,
With the Columbus, I see.
Christopher Columbus,
Yes,
and the
I.
African Holocaust. We got Richard Wright, native son.
Maya Angelou,
we
I
got
also
Maya
see.
Angelou.
Yes, I.
Putting me on the spot here.
It's all good.
We got a lot of
Yes,
books.
yes,
We got
I.
a
It's
lot
all
of
good.
books. But
Yes,
I
I.
would say this, when I the books that and the books that I'm speaking about is books that kind of spark something in me. We got Wretched of the Earth by Fanon.
Okay.
When I was doing my studies, the books that the writers that I like was C.L.R. James, Marcus Garvey. When I'd read the Philosophy and Opinion of Marcus
Yes,
Garvey,
yeah, I
that was
also read
important
that
for
too.
me
Yes,
too,
I like J.R. Rogers.
J.R. Rogers.
Yes,
All right, J.R.
that's
Rogers.
one of my top authors there.
Walter Rodney.
Rodney, yes, I was
Walter,
Rust and Resistance.
Rust
I
and
also had
Resistance.
that
I
book
feel
too.
you.
Yes,
I
King,
feel
yeah,
you.
man.
Walter Rodney and
Yes,
Groundings
I.
with my brothers. These were books and writers who really opened up a whole new world for me.
Yes, King.
And I knew that I wanted my people back home. But there's people.
Yes,
people.
King. Yes, King.
Around me who I loved in my community.
To get this African
get that too.
consciousness.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, King.
For sure. It
Because
couldn't just be me.
we need people
had to
like
spread
you.
that.
Because in the village in Africa back in the day, men couldn't teach certain teachings. So they had a messenger who used to carry a message from one village to the other.
To another.
They transfer like a letter. You see what I'm
I
saying?
feel
That
that.
was the email back then.
I feel
They sent
that.
a foot email.
I feel
You
like
see?
foot email.
Yeah, that brother run to one village, spread that message, and then somebody else run from the village and carry it on and
Carry
carry it
that
on.
message, I see
So
it.
you was one of those foot email brothers right now.
Ancient email.
Yes, that I bringing the knowledge of Africa to our people, you see, spreading that.
I tell
Because
you.
a lot of people nowadays tend to take on the European ways of life.
Right,
If you look
right.
at our people, the way they practice living is a European way of life. That's the
Right.
slave masters tradition on the plantation that we end up adapting to and practicing.
Right.
So what you're trying to bring here is the ancient way, the way before we were slaves, the
man.
kings, you see what I'm saying?
sure.
And our people need to know this, you see what I'm
man.
saying? And
For
I
sure.
want y'all to be encouraged to come out to Black Food and support it, you see what I'm saying? Beautiful African attires, beautiful clothes, books. I look at books, them good, great topics, you see what I'm saying? Which you sit down and teach your children and let your children know about their roots and culture, you see what I'm saying? So I give thanks and praise. Is there anything you want to wrap up? I want you to, you can tell the people where they can find you. If you have any email address, numbers, anything that they can find you by for your lawyer form and for your book store and any other thing, ventures you have, your party, Yeah, and everything like that. You're saying that people them know where they can find you and contact you.
We're Black Food Bookstore and Culture Shop, East Street and Robinson Road.
Yes,
we're also on Facebook, the African People's Socialist Party. Right now we're trying to concentrate on planning for ALD, African Liberation Day.
Okay.
That's in May.
Okay,
right?
yes,
So just be on the lookout for that. We'll be putting up information on Black Food on Facebook. And I work for Monroe and Associates, the best law firm in the Bahamas.
Okay, shout out to Monroe Associates. I see. If you have any problem and you have any family member who might need a good attorney to defend them, you look up my brother Alex Morley. I see. He'll give you the number to find
Yeah,
him.
man, Monroe and Associates. That's the best law firm.
So what's the contact for that?
394-8888.
Okay,
yeah.
394-8888. Monroe Associates. I see. Alex Morley, you ask for him.
Right.
I see. Yes, King.
Man. And I really appreciate, I just want to say, Ross Copper, I really appreciate Militant Voices and your team for allowing me to come on the show too.
Yes, King. Give thanks,
in your
man.
honor, I wanted to. I put on.
I see you put on. Yes, King.
You know what I mean?
Yes, King.
Tell them, man,
One of my handworks.
Yeah,
yes, King. What you mean? And support I for years.
Support this brethren.
And I still doing it. You can find me on Bay Street. I say I always out there. You can always come by, nice medals and things with the king. They say blessed is the man who published the word. So I intend to publish this word. Like I say, burn down the plantation of the modern day slave masters. We ain't come to play pure children of Nat Turner.
I feel you. Any Marcus Garvey pin or any Africa pin I used to had back in the day.
Yes, so I know. I know, King. Yes,
so
King.
I would give thanks to the eye.
Yeah, man.
But I just would send a shout out to all of the brothers and sisters in the Uhuru movement all across the world, the African People's Socialist Party, the APSC, IPDAM, and all Rastafari brothers and sisters right here in the Bahamas, the Bingi House.
Yes, King, House of Rastafari.
The ABIC, the
yes,
House
King.
of Rastafari.
Yes, King.
The whole African-centered movement in the Bahamas, the African, the brothers and sisters in Europe, one Africa, one
yes,
nation.
King, everywhere we
Africa,
is. Africa for the Africans, those are roaming abroad, man.
Africa for the Africans, those
are roaming abroad, man. You don't know, yes, King.
You don't know.
Like I always say, we have to push that button of unity here in the Caribbean, where we is as African brothers. We need to push the button of unity all over the Caribbean, where it's Jamaica, Haiti, like I said, the Virgin Islands, St. Lucia, Barbados, wherever. Black people come together because see, this here, you can pick off each other. But when you come together like this give up punch that no one can get it from, saying. So unity is strength, we need to come together, and push that button of unity, saying. Love and unity amongst black people. Show these people around the world who think that we killing one another and savaging, that we can bring a unity and bring our people forward to where they need to be. So give thanks and praise. Militant Voices Podcast, Season 2, Episode 10. Give thanks and praise. Shout out to our sponsors, Pyramid Cinematics, where we do short films, movies, game shows, commercials, wherever you need done. You contact Pyramid Cinemas, we get done for you. Shout out to Jaded Fashion, where you get fashion clothes, saying up to the time, at affordable price, quality fashion. Shout out to Pop-Up Cinema, where we pop up on your park or anywhere. We do club scenes too, where you get a package deal that we show the films, we sell the popcorns and drinks there. And we also have a package where we pop up on your park or whatever. We set up the movie for free and you pay for the popcorns and drinks because you can't get everything for free all the time. So give thanks and praises. Shout out to Militant Minds Music, where you get conscious music that feed the mind, the heart, and the soul. Rebel music, saying. Give thanks and praise again for tuning in to Militant Voices. We'll be forward with Season 2, Episode 11 in a moment. So give thanks and praise for life, health, and strength to all my people out there. Let's see if we can cut this violence down, see if we can cease this violence, cease the gun on the streets, put your gun down, pick up your woman, make children, increase the African nation instead of decreasing it by killing one another, saying. Unity is strength. And all we doing nowadays killing our people over senseless murders and things that don't really profit and can't give us nothing, but pure sorrows, saying. So give thanks and praise for life, health, and strength. Give thanks.
And Mr. Greedy, Mr. Greedy.